You are now running wild with the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world, WellsMania Podcast, and I am your host, the Kyle Wells, aka WellsMania, and thank you all so much for tuning in right here on the exclusive home of the WellsMania Podcast, YouTube. That's right, YouTube is benefiting from Spotify's loss of, well, what did Jared say? Too hot for the spot was WellsMania. I still need to get that on a shirt. But speaking of shirts, you can go to brainbustertees.com and get all of your WellsMania merch. And friend of the WellsMania Podcast, Aiden Achong, when he watches this episode of WellsMania Podcast, will be very thrilled because I am wearing the Paris, France, Clash in Paris, John Cena Farewell Tour shirt. But wait, there's more. I also have the Lyon France. I don't speak French, but I'll try my best. The Lyon France, the SmackDown stop for John Cena on his farewell tour. This right here is episode 188 of WellsMania Podcast. And before I bring on my special guests, I want to give a couple special shout outs. One to Courthouse Coney's located in Franklin, Indiana. You see, if you follow me on TikTok, WellsMania on TikTok, I am more than just a pro wrestling content creator. I'm also a food reviewer, or just a man who really loves to eat food. I've been doing a lot of food reviews that all of you seem to be enjoying. So if you have any recommendations on places in the Indianapolis area, I mean, I travel all over central Indiana. Drop them in the comments and let me know. And I'd love to go check it out. So I went to Courthouse Coney's down in Franklin, Indiana. Top dog. Hot diggity dog. That place was so good. I'll be bringing my pregnant wife back there very soon. So shout out to Courthouse Coney's, Josh and Heidi and Phoebe for recommending it on the TikTok. So my special guests for this episode, you know him. You love him. Stone Pain Productions. You know him. You love him. Stone Pain Productions. Okay. Let's try this again. He is one of the smartest men in professional wrestling history. He is the WWE Human Encyclopedia, Jared Giles. What's up, brother? Good to see you. You actually showed up.
Yes, I am here, present and accounted for.
I don't know where Peyton's at. He's no selling us. What's
a busy
new?
Man?
He's probably at the zoo. But making his WellsMania Podcast debut, friend of the WellsMania Podcast, one half of Between Two Beards, ladies and gentlemen, is Pluggo. Yeah, Pluggo. So good to have
made it.
You made it, brother. So good to have you finally running wild on WellsMania Podcast. Right. How are you, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm glad I got the invite. I think Stone there is just he's ducking me, man. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want me be around me. I don't know. But hey, I'm happy to be here and run wild with you, brother.
I am beyond thrilled. And I just want to give you also a shout out because it was you and JPJ who introduced me to this platform, StreamYard. Yeah. And I have been running wild. I don't know if you caught at the very beginning my little shade towards Spotify, but the only place that you can listen or watch WellsMania is on YouTube, on the WellsMania YouTube channel, because Spotify suspended the WellsMania Podcast due to copyright protected violations. Still don't understand why they didn't just remove the episodes that I violated. Nah, man, they took the whole podcast down. So
it ran too wild, huh?
Way too wild. And as Jared said, WellsMania is too hot for the spot. So
I guess so.
But thanks to you and JPJ for really introducing me how to use StreamYard. Now, I haven't gone full blown like you guys do on Between Two Beards. I still have the free version of StreamYard.
Well, I'll
get there.
I can't take all the credit for that. That shout out to Spencer Love and Love Wrestling and Zach, our graphics design guy, who makes us look so good every Thursday night. Because JPJ and we look good, but we don't look as good without those two gentlemen giving us their platform to do our thing and run wild on Thursdays. So shout out to them.
Which is what? Tell us, you're new here, man. You're new here. Jared might not be familiar with you and what you do with Between Two Beards, but tell us right now, what is Between Two Beards? Who are you, Pluggo? And why would people want to tune into you, brother?
Who am I? That's such a deep question. We're getting deep here.
We get in deep with WellsMania.
Well, I am Pluggo and I do content creation. I don't really have I just do things like that I feel like doing. So you might see me make a TikTok video. You might see me write something. I post a lot on my own socials, but for Between Two Beers specifically, it's JPJ and myself every Thursday night over at Love Wrestling on Love Wrestling CA on YouTube and everywhere else. We just kind of do our own thing. Him and I got linked up about 4 years ago. I think we're almost 225 episodes into this bad boy. And that's just the weekly flagship Thursday night episodes. Him and I have together probably done over 300 pieces of content, if not more at this point. Him and I are linked at the hip, but it's all good. So yeah, we got together. He's from Boston. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. And, we met through Love Wrestling, and him and I kind of have a similar vibe or around a similar age. And he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I'd love to do something." We did like a WrestleMania watch along or like a post show together. And he's like, "Hey, I loved your vibe. We should do something." And I was like, "Yeah, no, definitely. I'm always down." At that point, I had no idea what we were doing. So I kind of ghosted him, but only because I didn't have an idea, not because I wasn't interested. And then he hits me up again, and we just kind of started talking. And I said, "Here's Between Two Beards. What do you think about that?" And he was like, "Yep, that's a great name." So we ran with it. We told Spencer that we wanted to do a show that was just kind of us kind of doing our own thing. And here we are.
I love it, man.
You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. I have a great time. He has a great time. We do a lot of crazy. You never know who's going to show up, which is my favorite part. It's not JPJ's favorite part because he likes a little bit of structure. And I'm just like, who's popping in today?
You roll more with the chaos.
Oh, 100%. And that's kind of my style. And that's, I think, how we work really well together is I'm chaotic and all over the place. And he's kind of like that center of gravity that goes, maybe not that wild. And I go, but it'll be fun. And he goes, yeah. But so we work really well together and it works out for us, man.
Well, I love it, and I've been honored enough to be a guest on Between Two Beards on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So I only felt that it was right to have you finally run wild on WellsMania, and here you are. Now, Jared, I call Jared, I've nicknamed him the WWE Human Encyclopedia. Pluggo, this man right here on your screen, he is the smartest. I'm not bullshitting you. He is the most intelligent pro wrestling fan that I have ever met. And I have met a lot of people, but Jared, man, inside his Hoosier Dome, that man can tell you literally anything about everything. And not just in WWE. I mean, Jared's wealth of wrestling knowledge, it spans across everything. I mean, WCW, ECW, TNA, New Japan, AEW, independent wrestling. I mean, Jared knows his shit. So if you ever want to have Jared on your podcast, get in touch with him.
I know the absolute least about the sport of professional wrestling, so I'm the opposite. But yeah, no, I need somebody to tell me when I'm done. I have to have like people in the chat always correct me on Thursdays and be like, "Nope, that's not." I'm like, "Okay,
that's not right, Pluggo."
No, that's definitely not right. I'm like, "Oh well, I thought it sounded good."
See, that's one feature that once I upgrade to the next tier of StreamYard, eventually doing live episodes of WellsMania Podcast.
No, you can't go live now?
I don't believe I can. I have the very basic free version of StreamYard. So I don't even know where the live button is. I'm looking on my screen. I don't even see anything that says live.
Oh, you'd have there'd be a little box at the top that says live stream, and you'd click that, and then there'd be a button in the corner that says click go live. But since you're in the recording sphere, you can't go live when you're recording.
See, these are things that I am learning on the fly. But fellas, we got a lot to unpack on this episode of WellsMania Podcast, and I Before we get to the big PLE news of WrestlePalooza coming to our home state for in September for that PLE, there's something else going on in the wrestling world right now that is really, and yeah, Jared's shaking his head. It's really, I mean, there's no other way to put this. It's very fucked up. And yes, you can cuss on the WellsMania podcast, Pluggo. So
fuck yeah.
if you want to let the curse words fly, I do put a little thing on this when I upload it to YouTube. Now,
son of a biscuit, right on.
And you could do that too. I mean, you could make up your own curse words. It's what's so much fun about the creativity. But man, I'm talking about the Raja Jackson, son of Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson, my all-time favorite MMA fighter, for the record. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but back when I used to watch UFC and was really into it, I would go to the Buckle at the Greenwood Park Mall, and I would buy the Rampage Jackson Affliction T-shirts, which I still have them, but I can't fit into them anymore. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. His son, Raja Jackson, who is not, and I cannot express this enough, he is not a professional wrestler. And that'll come into play when we dive in to what happened here. But it's the Raja Jackson-Syko Stu incident. Jared, I just want to, when you first saw the viral clip of Raja Jackson slamming Syko Stu and then just opening up on him, just throwing haymakers, what was going through your mind when you saw, because that was the very first clip that went viral that started this whole incident?
Yeah, I saw it Sunday morning after, got up, and I had like three different DMs from people. And it was like, oh, have you seen this or watched this or what the fuck is this? Those were the different responses. So I click on it and I'm like, okay, the guy got knocked out. I mean, unfortunately, I see, and I'm sure you as well, Kyle and Pluggo, I'm not sure who your friends are, but like people will send you like botches or things like that, random spots from indie shows, or they'll get tagged online. So you're like, oh shit, that guy got knocked out on the slam. And then like the first punch, and then you're like, oh shit. But then he just like keeps going and nobody seems to know what they're doing. And then finally someone comes from the back and at least tries to pull him off. And then he's going wild. And then I guess the referee decided to make a 3 count anyway, instead of getting more people to help him. And then they finally got the ring cleared. So I was like, what the hell was that? Yeah. And so then I had to like do digging. Then I had to like, I think kind of everybody did. And I like sort of like reverse investigated, like, oh, what the fuck was, why, where is this? Why was this? And then found out more. And obviously as the days have went on, more and more has came to light since Saturday night, I guess is when it was. Yeah. We'll dive. I mean, we will go head first into the deep end of this. Pluggo, what were your initial reaction, or what was your initial reaction when you first saw the viral clip?
I had no idea what was going on. Like you said, you woke up Sunday. I was kind of AEW. I had like a big day of like AEW and that heat wave and all that. So my day was kind of full. And then somebody texted me about it late Sunday night or early Monday, and was like, and I just said, I don't know what this is. So I clicked and I figured it out and I found it, and I just was like, holy shit, right? Like, right. I don't know what the ins and outs are. I haven't dove super deep into it, but just the clip there, like, I understand that when you're in a wrestling spot and like some of that stuff happens where they blur the line between work and shoot. Right. And it brings me back to like New Jack used to be real good about that, right? So a referee in the moment probably doesn't know, are these guys, did these guys talk this out first, or because he like froze a little bit from the clip 100%. I saw. 100%. Yeah, because he's just wailing on him. And then I did see a clip posted, I think SRS posted it, of Raja staying on like camera that the guy threw a beer at it. He's gonna mess him up, and he's going in there and he's not shooting, he's not working, he's gonna go shoot on him. It's not a good look, man. It sucks. It's unfortunate for Psycho Stu that he had to go through that. I don't know if it was something that they worked out, but then it went too far. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I've never been in a wrestling ring, so I don't know what happens in those moments. But all I know is, it's just that gives it gives a bad look to the indie wrestling scene for sure.
Yeah, and I think everybody's reaction was, "Holy shit, this is real." Because in this world of pro wrestling, like you said, we get blurred between what's real and what's not real. And of course, we're all going to think, "Oh, it's a work, there." But when you watched Raja Jackson after he slammed Psycho Stu, it no longer was a work. That was more real, a little too real. And he's very fortunate that I believe it was Douglas Mallow was the professional wrestler that literally saved Psycho Stu's life, because had nobody pulled Raja Jackson off, he probably would have killed Psycho Stu. That's how serious that incident got. Now, I went down a rabbit hole, fellas. I did what Jared did. I did reverse investigation, because, I went to Ball State University, chirp, chirp. And my professors always told me there are two sides to every story. And before you start going out there, make sure you have the two sides to the story, so that way you have facts. Because if you only have one side, it becomes more of an opinion piece, because you don't know what was going on the other side. Well, I made sure, and I, like you, Jared, Pluggo, I was getting blown up. People were asking me, WellsMania, what do you think about Raja Jackson-Syko Stu? And I didn't really want to dive into it, because I was like, there's, me actually being a pro wrestler, I like to know, was this planned ahead of time? And it just, something went bad, something went wrong. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. Because it all started when Raja Jackson was backstage at Knox Pro, which is, I think, Rikishi's school. Is this Rikishi's?
Yeah. Rikishi's involved, yes.
Okay.
And the promotion in the school, yes.
Yeah, and Psycho Stu is he's a literal U.S. veteran, and he's also a independent wrestler who's been around for a while. So when you start looking at what the hell went wrong here, everybody in this situation is to blame.
Yes.
The most blame obviously goes to Raja Jackson. Because I don't know about you guys, but this is the Malice at the Palace all over again. Had the jabroni in the crowd not thrown the beer at Ron Artest, Ronnie would not have gone into the crowd and started beating the shit out of anybody that got in his way. Similar situation here. Had Psycho Stu not smashed the can over Raja Jackson's head backstage, none of this would have ever happened, because Raja Jackson is not, I repeat, he is not a pro wrestler. He is not a worker. He does not know how this business operates. Psycho Stu should not have done what he did backstage without knowing ahead of time, oh, this guy's not a worker, so if I smash a can over his head, he's not going to sell like he should, right? No, he's not going to sell because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. So, but I'm not defending Raja Jackson by any means. I'm just, yes, Jared, go ahead.
I do have one thing to say about that. Yes, but I think part of Stu's confusion, or maybe what led to that whole thing, was he saw Raja's friend with a camera streaming.
Yes.
So if as a worker, you should know better than most people. Cameras, people recording stuff usually doesn't happen backstage.
Yeah.
So he could have saw the camera and thought, "Oh, hey, this guy is on kick, setting up our angle. So I'm gonna kind of puff up and be the old vet. You're not the son of an MMA fighter, and I'll show you how real wrestling is." Hitting with the can, thought he was going to sell, and that was going to be the end of it. Obviously, Raj, and that's why he's like, "You're not going to sell?" And then everyone's like, "No, he's not selling." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Because they sometime later in that stream, he did apologize, say, "Hey, man, I thought," and they shook hands. So, like, he was under the impression the beef was squat. Like he thought like, hey, this is part of the angle. They're shooting something for social media or whatever to pump up my angle. Now, you probably should have made sure, like, should have been communication from office or like before to assume, but I don't know if Raj had asked to have his camera guy back there. So obviously there was a lot of miscommunication, but I think that's where Stu just went into, oh, I saw a camera red light wrestler mode instead of using like some logic of, hey man, like we're gonna do some business tonight. What do you want to do? Here's what I'm gonna do. That sort of thing, which is what should have happened when they first met, first meeting.
Yeah, because I've been doing this. I've been a local pro wrestler here in the state of Indiana for 7 years, and the first thing that I do when I get to whatever promotion I'm wrestling in, the very first thing I do, and I usually know ahead of time who my opponent is going to be. Now, I have no idea about how the match is going to go. We usually figure that stuff out the day of. We find out who's going over. We find out how much time we have for the match. These are all things that we find out the day of the show. But the first thing, and any veteran, and I'm 7 years in to pro wrestling. I'm no veteran by any means, but I know enough, and Stu should have known enough too,
100%.
To go up to Raja Jackson. I don't care if the camera's on or not. You go up to him and you say, hey man, are you doing something for our storyline, or is this something totally different? It's okay to break kayfabe in 2025. You're not the Undertaker. You're not somebody who's living your gimmick. I mean, you're an independent pro wrestler. Now, I know that there's guys who like to stay in character, and trust me, I've seen those guys in locker rooms, and I usually stay away from them because they're kind of hard to communicate with. But if I'm not in a match with them, I usually tend to leave people alone unless they come up to me and they want to talk. I'll talk to anybody. You guys know this. But
true.
When I go to a show, man, that's the very first thing I do is I find out, especially if I've never met the guy that I'm wrestling, I always want to introduce myself as Kyle. I introduce myself as Kyle first and foremost. And then I tell them, hey, I do this character called Mega Mondo. He's half man, half gorilla, very, energetic, over the top. My movesets are pretty limited. I'm more of a ground and pound strength kind of guy that plays to the crowd. I'm more of a sports entertainer than I am a pro wrestler. And then the other guy can usually figure out, okay, this is how our match is going to go. And then we go find a spot, and then we just kind of, throw stuff at one another, and we figure out how we're going to lay out the match. Unfortunately, that didn't happen in this situation.
Are these guys, were they supposed to be working an angle at some point?
Yeah. They brought Raj in because he was the whole thing with going in and shooting the double leg. That was all planned.
Part of it.
At some point in the day, I'm assuming Rikishi or someone had to ask Raj because he's training to become an MMA fighter. I don't know if he's had fights yet or not. I'm not sure on his, but he is training. They were probably like, hey, do you want to do something, make a little money, get some like buzz, that sort of thing. So you come out, help us, get your name out there a little more because it'll be a viral moment. Obviously it became viral for much,
all the wrong reasons.
Reasons, but it was one of those things where it was like, hey, you give us some buzz, we'll give you a little buzz. It was supposed to be a happy little run and pop for the crowd, if you will.
Even if he's pissed about the beer, right? And again, I'm speaking from a guy that's never stepped foot in a wrestling ring except for one time to take a picture, and I had enough trouble getting into it, let alone. So I got no skin in that game, but you hit him once, maybe, because you're like a receipt, as you say, and then but he went after him, and the dude went limp, and he kept going, and it wasn't planning on stopping, and it always shines this awful light then on independent wrestling where it becomes this narrative of like, these people are never, they're not trained, and they just kind of do, it's the Wild West out there. And maybe we need more regulations on the independent wrestling scene, but we also need people to, he should have understood in that moment, like, this is professional wrestling. It's not the MMA. And I don't think Syko Stu expected him to go to that level. So I don't think he was prepared for that, and that's the outcome we got. It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah. The good news is, from what I've seen, it looks like Stu has regained consciousness, and he appears to be on the upswing from the hospital. So that is the good news out of this. Now, I hope that he also learns from this as well. I hope everybody learns from this situation, not just Stu, Raja, and Knox Pro, but every single independent wrestling company that saw this incident. I hope they all understand that if you're going to bring outsiders in for what Jared said, a big viral moment, and you're going to get them involved in a spot, you better make sure that they 100% understand what the hell that they're supposed to be doing. And in this situation, I feel like Knox Pro fumbled the bag and did, because there were guys backstage encouraging Raja to go out there and fuck up Syko Stu. And in Raja Jackson's unhinged MMA brain, that means I'm going to go hit this guy for real because that's all I know. So it's just very unfortunate. The whole situation should have never happened, but the fact that it has happened, and we're here talking about it on WellsMania Podcast, and the whole world is talking about it. The one thing I hope everybody takes away is, if you have no business being in the pro wrestling business, don't get in the pro wrestling business. If you don't know how to work safely, if you do not know how to work at all, don't ever step foot in a pro wrestling ring or company, because shit like this is going to happen, and you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But fellas, that's a good segue into someone who Raja Jackson should be very thankful wasn't there at the show. And I'm talking about Killer Kross. Could you imagine if Raja Jackson pulled that stunt and Killer Kross, aka Karrion Kross, was in that match? Dude, Raja Jackson, it needs to count as blessings that the guys that were there in Knox Pro didn't do what I think Killer Kross would have done. I've seen Karrion Kross break baseball bats with his legs. He's insane. He's intense. I love him. Did you guys happen, Jared? You watched GCW Homecoming or saw the highlight of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you think of Karrion Kross and Scarlett showing up to help Shotzi? And then what'd you think of that promo with the violin afterwards?
I mean, it was a likely spot for them to land. Obviously, they had announced some independence dates a day or two before, so we were kind of gearing up. But GCW is one of the bigger indies. Obviously, they run, I think, the most shows out of any independent that's out there. So almost weekly, basically, and run usually Friday, Saturday. So it's not too surprising that he's made a deal to work some GCW dates. He'd worked Bloodsport in the past and things like that. Obviously, Cardona's a huge name on the indies in the indies last couple of years.
Mega name.
So that makes sense to kind of match up with him, and they can turn that match to a couple bigger indies and a couple cities and things like that running that match. And Shotzi and Scarlett are obviously good friends. They do the paranormal YouTube show together, so everything kind of worked out. It made sense in the story, and got from Shotzi to Kross for Cardona's feud on the indies. So again, makes sense. The promo, I thought it was fine. I want to see if they are more of it kind of teased that they were going to be more of a trio in at least GCW going forward. I want to see if that comes to pass, and that's more of a group dynamic on things, because that'll be sort of interesting, because you don't get too many groups on the indies just because of how indies are booked as kind of more one-offs with the star names, and they bring in locals or whoever's close to fill out the rest of the card. So be interesting to see how that goes. But I mean, not surprised he showed up. GCW needed something big, and Homecoming is one of their bigger shows historically for the year. So,
Pluggo, I got a quote for you. This is from the Killer Kross violin promo.
Yeah.
He started singing this. I lost my dream job and I'm so sad. This isn't WWE anymore. What am I doing? And then he smashes the violin on the wall and he says, it's clearly not a fucking work. Hey, you know what? I'm not sad anymore. You got to get on with your fucking life. And then he goes on to say a lot more cuss words.
Is it a work? Is it a shoot? Listen, I've heard it all. Everybody and their mother has told me one way or the other, it's a work, it's a shoot. He's just doing selective dates that WWE would have approved if he was a wrestler anyway. I don't care if he's working me at all because I love what he's doing. I sat down Friday night and I turned on GCW's Homecoming because I do a little independent wrestling show as well called For Exposure. Shout out Saturday mornings. Boom. So we, I'm sitting there, and that match had everything to begin with. It had Cardona coming out with Marty McFly, Doc Brown, a DeLorean.
Marty.
Nick effing Gage came back in that moment as well. And so you're sitting there like, okay, what more could they possibly do? And then here comes Killer Kross and Scarlett. And you're like, oh shit. Like, business is about to pick up, and I just like what the guy does. I've been a fan of his before he signed with WWE. I just really like his style, his vibe, and I think Scarlett is super underrated too. She
100%.
can wrestle. I don't know why WWE didn't let her wrestle at hardly. I don't even remember a match she had, if she had any. But
she had 2 on TV.
But if he is just doing, if he's back in the indies full time and it's not a work and he's absolutely in, he's going to have a heck of a run to close out 2026 because he could work anywhere that he would want. I'm sure that they have suitors lined up for him. And then if he decides to sign a contract and do that, like I look at a guy like Mustafa Ali when he left.
Yeah.
He went on that Summer of Ali. He still kills it on the indies, but then he went back, he did the Impact thing. He does the Impact thing too. So, Karrion Kross, the world is his oyster right now. Everything he's doing is a hit for me at the moment. So, I was pleasantly shocked. And that was the opening match of that show, too. That's the craziest part. It was the opener. They went all out, right? They ran wild in the curtain jerker match.
You think, you have a match like Shotzi versus Matt Cardona, that screams main event of any show. And for it to be the opening match to the night, I mean, how do you follow that match? They set the tone, that's for sure.
They did all right. Homecoming, I didn't watch night 2 because there was other thing, AW and everything. But night 1 was pretty solid. I had a good time. I don't know why they opened with it, but it was fun. It was a fun open. It's a way to do it. Maybe Karrion Kross had to catch a plane or something. Who knows?
I'm excited.
Maybe he had to get to Paris.
Maybe we'll see. We will dive into our Clash in Paris predictions here momentarily. Now, speaking of Clash in Paris, fellas, this is it. The end of the Peacock WWE PLE era.
Okay.
Clash in Paris is going to be the last PLE on the cock, so to speak, because ESPN partnering up with WWE, and the very first PLE to kick off that partnership will be WWE Wrestlepalooza live from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, fellas, the 3 of us, we were all there earlier this year in Indianapolis at the Royal Rumble, running wild. Pluggo and I were up in the suite, which was too sweet. So here we go again, man. 2 WWE PLEs in our home city of Indianapolis, Indiana in the same year. And for the life of me, I don't think that has ever happened in the United States before. I do believe, Jared, probably Saudi Arabia has had multiple PLEs in the same year in their city. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, it's definitely the first in the
United States. Can I ask you guys a question? If I may, I know it's your show.
No.
I'm happy to be here. I don't want to take over, But I have to ask, boys,
Jump in,
how
brother.
does it feel to be the centralized, booming hub of the crossroads of America, as they said in that press release, that the city of Indianapolis is the perfect place for all events because we're booming, we're cool, we're hip. Holy shit. Indiana has never been put over so hard as they did when they're like, you're getting a WrestlePalooza. Probably because we're taking away a Mania. But hey, you guys are awesome.
You know, I've only been advocating for our city of Indianapolis for decades.
For sure.
Saying that no city hosts better than Indianapolis. And I will go up against any other city. You tell me another city that is capable of everything in walking distance and everything being literally right there. I mean, Lucas Oil Stadium, right there next to the convention center, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, a couple blocks over. And then you've got all the restaurants, you got all the hotels. Everything is right there in walking distance. It does not get much better than Indianapolis, Indiana. So the fact that we are the first city in the United States to host not one, but two WWE PLEs, I rest my case. I rest my case. Another reason why Indianapolis is the best city to host any major sporting event. I mean, we've literally hosted everything. And yes, we have hosted WrestleMania, but that was way back in 1992. And we've come a long way since 1992. The city has gotten so much better since 1992. I mean, hell, you wouldn't even recognize the Hoosier Dome. If you didn't know what the Hoosier Dome was, you were like, what the hell's a Hoosier Dome? The Hoosier Dome, RIP, it is now where the convention center and part of, where the convention center is. That's where the Hoosier Dome used to sit many years ago. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. I love that Indianapolis is getting the love that I've been preaching for decades. And it only took Pat McAfee to really get Indian. Like, here's the thing, and Jared can back me up. I've been working on the ground level, promoting Indianapolis as a hotbed for pro wrestling. I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I used to work at WIBC, which is located right on the circle of Indianapolis, Indiana. You bet your ass, every single pilot that would come in that building, every single anybody who would come in that building, I would always tell them, hey, you know what would bring millions and millions of dollars to Indianapolis? WrestleMania. And, you know, some of the politicians, they looked at me and they're like, no. But hey, look who was right. Look who's still around, and look who's out of office because they didn't listen to me. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Maybe I should run. Maybe WellsMania should run. I should run for governor of Indiana.
I'd vote for you.
Run wild and vote for WellsMania. 2028, vote for WellsMania.
There you go.
Because that might be, well, I don't know when WrestleMania is supposed to be coming back, but it will, Pluggo. I don't buy into the whole WrestlePalooza bumped out WrestleMania. I don't buy that for a second because
the only reason I did it is because it happened in New Orleans, and there, you know, it happened.
They're getting a WrestleMania back, and also we have a contract. So
yes,
we're getting WrestleManias and some SummerSlams and some other things. But yeah, it'll be exciting to have WrestlePalooza here. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
And Jared, you've already bought your ticket to WrestlePalooza.
Correct.
Did you drop $6,000 on the floor seats?
No, I didn't. I looked at that for a second. I had a nice laugh, and then I went on to sections that I could afford. But
what do you guys think of these ticket prices?
Look, man, I can't. I got 4 kids, bro.
You've got 4 kids?
I got 4 kids, bro. I can't be floor seated up for $6,000. You know what I can do with $6,000? That's,
bro, I had no idea.
That's braces.
You have 4 kids?
I sure do.
Well, how old are they? I got to know now.
I got 6, 10, 15, or 6. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh God.
This is how crazy it is. I have a 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old.
Damn.
Well, Actually, my 16-year-old will be 17 next week. So I'm aging junior and senior in high school.
And you're younger than me.
Yeah.
And you got four kids. I turned 39 this Friday.
Yeah, I'm younger by a little bit. I got started early with the
he's wearing a Notre Dame shirt, so you know what they say about those Catholics.
Yeah.
They love their Irish. They love their Irish.
I have two in high school and 2 in elementary school. So Mrs. Pluggo is an absolute saint. She's a gem. She's the love of my life. She keeps the ball. She lets me do this crazy thing. But if I said to her, honey, I'm dropping 6 G's on some floor seats for a WWE event, she would probably put her foot down and say, I don't think so, bud. I don't think so. So
well, that's where you're living for the rest of 2025.
I was going to say, so if I have to watch it on my couch, so be it. But I would love to be down there. My goal is to get down there and enjoy the festivities somehow, some way.
Same, because you and we had the honor to represent the media for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got to run wild with you at the press junket, which thank you and JPJ again for really showing me the ropes, because that was the first time that I had ever done a WWE press junket, and it was awesome, man. It was really cool.
Yeah,
nerve-wracking at first, but then once you got going, everybody in there was just so nice and inviting and welcoming. So if we get the opportunity to do that again for WrestlePalooza, that would be a lot of fun running it back. Next month. But I do plan on being there one way or the other, whether I'm representing WellsMania in the media or just WellsMania as me doing WellsMania things. But I will be running wild at Gamebridge Fieldhouse for WrestlePalooza. Now, Pluggo, I know that you have bought you have subscribed to the new ESPN Unlimited app. Jared, are you a subscriber, or do you plan on subscribing to it?
I plan on subscribing. I have the bundle package. I know there's a certain amount of time you can get locked in for a lesser rate with the bundle package. I'm going to do that. It's here basically when my month that I've already paid for is about to switch it over for then. So it will be before WrestlePalooza either way.
That's what I did. I did the bundle pack because I have been wanting Disney Plus for a while, and I've also been wanting Hulu for a while, and just never really just did it. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, WWE PLEs will be on ESPN. Oh, but wait, we're going to bundle it with Disney Plus and Hulu. And I was like, okay, sold. I signed up, and this is probably the only way that I'm going to be able to watch my Tennessee Titans play football this season, because you can watch NFL football games on the ESPN Unlimited app, which
they got they got the network, NFL Network, so they'll have Red Zone and some select games and stuff like that. Listen, if you put a gun to my head right now and you said, Pluggo, I need you to tell me where every WWE piece of content is on and what time it's on and what channel it's on, I'd be dead, because there's so many places for it to go. It made sense for me to make the switch. I know it freaks out a lot of wrestling fans, because if you only like wrestling, $30 going back to $30 a month is steep for an app that you're not going to use any other stuff. But when I sat down and I looked at it, because like I said, I have Disney Plus, I had Hulu, I had ESPN Plus already, because I'm a sports guy and I have kids. We need Disney for all them shows and stuff.
4 kids.
So it made sense. It was only $10 more a month for me. Now, when they hike that thing up after the introductory bundle price, maybe I reevaluate some things. But yeah, I can understand why people are pissed about it. I mean, if you think about it, I saw some graphic the other day. It's like, for a year to be a wrestling, it's like $1,500 a year to be a wrestling fan, or something like that, or something crazy, maybe more.
Yeah, and then John Cena decides to go on his farewell tour and puts out a new shirt for every stop on his farewell tour.
Of course.
And me, being the biggest John Cena fan that ever lived, has bought every single John Cena farewell tour t-shirt that has been available on WWEshop.com. By the way, Pluggo, I got my spinner belt signed.
I saw that.
I went to Fan Expo Chicago, and here's something. So you have 4 kids. I'm about to have my first kid. He is due in October. So I asked John Cena if he could do a video welcoming my son to the world. And he did. He did it. The video is just, I tried so hard not to cry when he was doing the video. I had a really nice 2-minute conversation with John at Fan Expo. He told me that I'm going to make a great father, which means a lot coming from him, even though he doesn't have kids. But that's my, outside of my mom and dad, John Cena is my hero. He's my biggest inspiration. So for him to look at me in the eyes and say, you're going to make a great father, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make a great father. So be on the lookout when my son is due in October. He's due on October 30th. We'll see. You know how it is. You've had 4 kids. They don't necessarily come when they're supposed to. They might be a little early. They might be a little late. Were any of your kids on the day that they were due?
No. My oldest was a week late. My daughter, who's just under the high school, she was a week early. Oliver, I'd have to check. He's my stepson. He was probably on close to on time. I think he was a few days early, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. And then the youngest was 6 weeks early.
Wow.
And everyone's doing great. We did spend 3 weeks in the NICU though, and the first WWE show that Owen, my youngest, watched, because he's now a fan, was the day that Roman Reigns announced that he had leukemia and had to go away. So the Shield turn, and then the first PLE was Evolution that weekend. So I'm sitting there doing the NICU thing, watching, and Lord, did I realize that he was going to gravitate to professional wrestling like he has. I wish I would have put Algebra Brooks in front of him or something, because now I'll walk around a corner and he'll go, Uso kick, Dad. He super kicks me.
Hey, maybe he will be a WWE wrestler one day, and that investment will all pay off.
Maybe. I mean, if he wants to be, he'll sit there while I watch the shows and try to recreate the moves off the couch. And I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself, but he's like, I'm fine, Dad, I'm fine, I'm good. I love
that. Right. That's what I'm really excited for. Is when my son gets old enough, then I can introduce him to wrestling. And I've said this before, whenever WrestleMania does come back to Indianapolis, I'm okay with them not coming back anytime soon, because I want my son now to be old enough to actually understand the magnitude of WrestleMania. Because when my nana and my dad took me back in '92 at the Hoosier Dome, I was 5 years old, man, and I remember it as if it were yesterday. So, but you guys ready to get into Clash in Paris?
Sure.
So
sure.
We've got
sure. It's like, I guess. I mean, if you want, yeah, whatever.
You sure, man?
Well, I always try to keep the episodes around an hour or under an hour, because
and I blew that out. Sorry.
No, you're good. You are absolutely good. There really are no time limits on this show, but I do listen to the listeners or the viewers, and they always tell me, yeah, right around that hour mark is like the sweet spot. So that's
ADHD.
Yes,
ADHD with this younger generation.
And I've got a little bit of it too here at my old age of 39. So that's why I'm really always trying.
I shouldn't have mentioned I had 4 kids. That threw you for a loop, got you going.
It did, but it's okay though, because I'm about to be a first-time dad, and I want any advice, man. Any advice? Never hesitate to throw it my way, because
never hesitate to ask. But I can tell you that there is no cookie cutter book on this stuff. You just kind of do your best, and it'll all hopefully work out, because that's all you can do. As long as you got a good head on your shoulders and you do what you're supposed to do, they'll be fine.
I like to think that I do.
I like to think that my kids are successful despite me, but hey, maybe a little me rubbed off on them. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
Right.
But we've got 5 matches on the Clash in Paris card, in no particular order, but we'll just go around. Jared, Pluggo, feel free to chime in whenever you would like. We're going to start things off with the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. And I think their build to this match has been really well done. All the cheap shots that they've been taking at one another. Although there was something that Becky Lynch said that really pissed off Kelly Osbourne. Do you guys think it's too soon to make an Aussie death joke, or is this no big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal. First of all, Kelly tagged a fan account. She didn't even tag Becky Lynch.
That poor fan account.
So she didn't watch it. Some goof tagged her on an Instagram clip. That's the only reason she saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't making fun of Aussie. She was making fun of Birmingham. She said the only good thing about the city died last month. She was actually putting over Aussie that he was the only good thing that ever come out of Birmingham. I don't know. I'm not life and death, they certainly happen. And obviously, if it's someone I'm close to, I'm affected by their death. But people no one can ever make a death joke around me because someone I know died. No, there's 6 billion people in the world. There's someone that dies every minute. Gotta, I don't know. I'm not saying she's sensitive because, obviously my dad passed away a couple years ago. If someone would have said something about him, probably within a month or so, I probably would have taken it a little more than, I would have regularly, but I don't necessarily think it's bad. Becky was reacting to the crowd that was in front of her that day, and it just happened to come across her mind. I don't think it was scripted. I think it was Becky just off the cuff thinking, oh, hey, I have this one in my back pocket. I'm going to throw it out because these people, and it got the reaction in the arena. And I get Kelly's upset, and I certainly, unfortunately, can talk from experience. I know what it's like to lose a dad, but I think the reaction was a little overblown, and I think the Aussie fans attacking the wrong account she tagged just shows they were being performatively mad for Kelly about something she wouldn't have saw had someone not tagged her originally.
Yeah. Which when I saw that Kelly Osbourne went after that Becky Lynch fan account, I was like, whoever's running that fan account, their notifications
fighting for their life yesterday.
You gotta shut your phone off at that point.
Yeah, I'm disabling the account ASAP because it's probably still getting blown up right now. But who do you guys like in this match? Are we keeping the IC title on Becky, or are we going to have a new women's IC champ here?
Listen. Come on. If I had confidence points, they're all going to Becky Lynch. 1,000%. And that's no slight on Nikki Bella. I am a fan of the Bella twins. I think they are criminally underappreciated.
Finally.
In this wrestling world. I think people give them a bad rap. I actually have enjoyed Nikki's involvement with Becky here. So give me Becky Lynch. Give me the man. Obviously, I think that's where we go with it. But I think it's going to be a fun little match between two Hall of Famers. And that's me assuming Becky Lynch makes Hall of Fame. Which I think
without a doubt. Becky Lynch will be a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was going to say, she might be a Hall of Famer before she's even done.
Probably. What about you, Jared? Who you got winning this match?
Yeah, I think Becky retains here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little cheating, controversial finish to maybe keep this feud going, since it has got such a positive reaction from the fan base at the live shows so far. And I mean, Becky's name was mentioned as having a big time match on the WrestlePalooza press release. Not that always matters, but I think they're going to want as many big stars as they can having big matches for the first ESPN show. So I'm more expecting a rematch next month at WrestlePalooza. So that's why I think we keep the title on Becky here.
I agree with both of you. As much as I love Nikki Bella, I don't think she's going to take the title off of Becky here at Clash in Paris. So yes, I agree. I'm going with Becky Lynch to retain. That takes us to a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, Sheamus versus Rusev. This one, I mean, these two have great chemistry. It's a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, and it features Sheamus, so you know it's going to be fun. Who we got? Who we got in this one, Pluggo?
For me, I just want him to fight forever. Like Sheamus, I don't want to say that this is like revitalized his career because I don't think his career was ever like that kind of low. But you can tell like Sheamus is loving this. He's got a guy that'll match him blow for blow. He's it's a hard hitting thing. I think you got to give it to Rusev because I think we need to keep Rusev going, but I don't think this is the blow off end of this. This is like, I want them to just continue fighting forever. Because when you need a good 20-minute banger on a show, this is where you go for it. But I'm going to take
after banger after banger.
But I'm taking Rusev, not because I don't think Sheamus can get it done, only because I got to pick a winner.
Yeah. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I think this will be the match of the show, honestly.
Oh wow.
I think this will steal the show, if you will. I think Rusev needs the win a lot more. I don't think the crowd is really invested in Rusev currently. I think the Sheamus feud has helped. I think when he came back after WrestleMania, there's a lot of, I think, just turn over the fan base, and it had been so long since we had the dominant Rusev from NXT and when he originally debuted. There had been so much time in the AEW run for those, so that would kind of petered out, and then that last year he was just on the shelf. So I think Rusev needs it in the audience, from the audience perspective, to get a reaction. So I think Rusev wins this one.
It's another clean sweep. I think it'll be Rusev Day in Paris, France, because I agree with both of you guys. Rusev desperately needs to get the momentum going. Sheamus will be fine. Sheamus can take losses and always bounce back like he always has. Rusev, the same can't really be said with him, man. He keeps piling up losses. Like Jared said, the crowd's not really going to, care. And then he'll just fade away like he did when he left WWE the first time. So in order to really get Rusev going, I think having him beat Sheamus in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook is a great way to jumpstart Rusev. What they used to say? Rusev something. Rusev Machka.
Rusev Day, man. Just go with Rusev Day.
And they should definitely bring back Lana. I'm going to leave it right there. The next match that we have is a singles match. It is the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, acknowledge me, versus the Tribal Thief, Bronson Reed. So we've got the Tribal Thief versus the Tribal Chief. And in my opinion, this should have been a ladder match with Roman Reigns' shoes hanging from the, wherever. And, come on. How are we not getting a shoe ladder match here? I know the answer.
Yeah.
But
because it's corny like Bunions. Oh, shoes, feet, jokes.
I like that.
No. This is one where at SummerSlam, I would have went with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker over Roman and Jay just to really put them on the map, to really say who's going to beat this formidable group with Seth Rollins. Because now it would have even made a little bit more sense given like the shoe stealing and all of the beatdowns that Roman really wants to get. But he already knows he can beat Bronson Reed because he's done it already. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to maintain that we got to figure out a way to like keep Bronson Reed strong in the Visionary group. Give me Bronson Reed. I don't love it, but I'd like to see him continue and steal his third pair of shoes. That's what I want. I just want him like shoes. And
the shoe LaFala.
Them shoes got to be smelly though too. He'd be sweating in those things. And does he dump the odor eaters on him? I don't know, man.
It's hard telling, man. Arm and Hammer saved lives. What about you, Jared? Is it going to be the Tribal Chief or the Tribal Thief?
I think the Tribal Chief here. I think Roman gets the win. They made a point on Raw for him, Roman, to talk to Jay, and even in his promo, and he said, "Hey, you won the match at SummerSlam. I didn't get the victory." So they're still doing a little. Roman is a little not fooling himself ever since he lost the title at WrestleMania 40. And then obviously Heyman's now betrayed him at WrestleMania this year, so he's kind of lost some of that mojo. I think Roman wins here. I think Roman wins here. I think the big match that the singles out of this feud with the Vision is they're still building to a Roman Braun match.
Yes.
So I think Roman wins, but I think Braun and Bronson maybe lay-in afterwards. Yeah. And then since Roman, I don't believe is advertised for WrestlePalooza, and I believe he's filming Street Fighter next month, or his role in Street Fighter, do a little beat down to give him sort of a write off, and then come back for War Games season. So that's where I foresee. So he wins, but he gets laid out again with Bronson and Braun standing tall, but he gets the victory.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Jared. I really think that Roman needs to get the win over Bronson here, and then Roman needs to get the win over Braun Breaker, and the ultimate end game is Roman getting the win over Seth Rollins and becoming the new world heavyweight champion, wherever that match will take place. Some people say WrestleMania 42 out in Vegas, which I'm not putting it past WWE to save that match, because that does to me feel like a night one main event at WrestleMania 42. But in order to do that, you got to have Roman start picking up wins now. So I think Roman will beat Bronson Reed here at Clash in Paris. But I do like what Jared said, because Roman needs to go away for a little bit, and you can put him on the shelf by having Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed absolutely destroy him after the match. So I'm going with the acknowledgement of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. That takes us to the fatal four-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And yes, I mentioned him, the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight. Yeah. Pluggo, yes. Will we have a new World Heavyweight Champion?
I mean, the deck is obviously stacked against him. I mean, if you wanted to pick any three of those men, you could. I mean, I'm a huge CM Punk guy, so I always want CM Punk to win. But no, I don't think that it happens here. I think that there's still some things for this Vision group to do, and I think you've seen it over the last couple of weeks, right? Like LA Knight, CM Punk's trying to get everybody on the same page. Roman's telling Jay, don't trust Punk. LA Knight's having issues with Punk because he keeps feeling like he's stealing his spotlight or getting involved where he shouldn't be. We saw Jay super kick CM Punk kind of at Raw the other night and leave him. That was the last shot of the night. So I think that they're going to cancel each other out in somehow, some way. And again, it's a fatal four-way match. Braun Breaker, where are you going to be? You know what I'm saying? Bronson Reed, his match will be early in the night. He's getting involved because that's what they've been doing for the last 3 months. So, yeah, give me Seth Rollins to retain here.
What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I'm right there with Pluggo. It's too early for the group, too early for the Seth Rollins run. I mean, he just won it at the beginning of the month. And I mean, it's just thinking logistically, story-wise, like it's going into football season. Like the ratings are going to be down on Raw, just at least live, because people are going to be watching Monday Night Football. I know Netflix makes it easier to catch up and all that, but there is going to be a drop-off. A slower time period. It's kind of easier to have a heel champion, if we want to use those terms. And then we've got big moments still with Punk getting a one-on-one match against Seth. And like you said, like Roman makes sense as a challenger. So we've built up challengers for Seth. We're not going to give him a reign. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I say Seth wins it.
I agree with both of you. Like I said, Seth Rollins is going to hold on to that World Heavyweight title for a while, and he will sneak away with the victory in this fatal four-way. We're going to have a lot of near falls. There's going to be a lot of moments where, oh my God, CM Punk's going to win. No, he's not. Oh my God, Jey Uso's going to win. No, he's not. Oh my God, LA Knight is finally going to win. Yeah.
No.
And he doesn't. The thing is, I would not be mad if WWE wanted to pull the trigger here and put the title on LA Knight. I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad if they decided to do that, but they are not going to do that. But I wouldn't be mad if they did. Seth Rollins will escape Paris, still the world heavyweight champion, because that does set up Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at WrestlePalooza. That's a really big one-on-one match that I think those two are going to have there in Indianapolis for the first WWE PLE on ESPN. That's kind of where my mind has been going, is like, how am I going to book that PLE show here in Indy? How am I going to book WrestlePalooza? And throwing that match right there, it's a pretty big one in my mind. But that takes us, in my opinion, to the main event. John Cena, the never seen 17. John Cena versus Logan Paul. My boss, Logan Paul, by the way, Glowberry and KSI Nightmare Prime Hydration running wild in a store.
Oh, that's that sugar water John Cena was talking about on Friday.
John,
water.
I love John Cena. There's only 1 gram of sugar in this 10% coconut water. So, John, I love you, but my goodness, man, this is one of the healthiest hydration drinks on the market. This and John Cena's drink Prime, he knows how good it is. So, yeah, when he took a little shot there at Logan, I felt that. When
he knocked over the Prime Hydration station the other night. How did your eye twitch? Like, what happened?
My OCD was freaking out, man. Freak out. That's one thing that I'm really good at, is building displays and making sure all the bottles are fronted and everything looks good. My biggest nightmare is after I've spent however long in the store building this display,
John's gonna come over and tip it over.
John Cena goes full Kool-Aid man right into my display. Oh yeah, you can't see me, and I'm just like, John, what are you doing? So yeah, I was just like, oh, God. But thank God I did not put that display together. That's another thing too, man, is I need to reach out to Prime more, and especially with Prime coming to Indianapolis, I'm going to reach out to the Prime team and see if they need any assistance from the #1 Prime sales rep in the state of Indiana.
Boom.
Just saying. I'll have to reach out to my boss, Logan Paul. But as far as this match goes, fellas, we've only got 10 dates left on the John Cena farewell tour. This is one of them. So after Sunday, there will only be 9. 9. You're right, Pluggo. We are almost in the single digits. I have been dreading this moment all year long, getting closer to December. It's going to be emotional for me. I am trying to mentally prepare myself now, but I don't think it's just like having a kid. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for when my son gets here, but I won't know until he gets here. Kind of like John Cena's last match. I won't know until it gets here how I'm going to feel. Now, my goal is to get there, to go to John.
Well, it's Boston, December 13th.
Yep, Boston, December 13th.
I was just about to say, as a matter of fact, before we get our predictions going, I do want to lay out, these are the remaining confirmed dates that we know of. There's still 2 that we do not.
So we'll have 9 left after Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 7 because Lyon, France. So We've got SmackDown in Lyon, France. We've got Clash in Paris We've got SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois. We've got Raw in Springfield, Massachusetts. We've got WrestlePalooza right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We've got Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. We've got Survivor Series in San Diego, California. Yes, Jared, the retirement match December 13th, the end of an era. But before we get there, we got to embrace what we are getting this weekend in Paris. John Cena versus Logan Paul. What do you guys got?
It depends. What are we allowed to say? I feel like I kind of put on the spot here. You're the biggest John Cena fan, and you work for Logan Paul. So you got me in a weird spot here. All I'm going to say is that if you want to, if we want to forget about all the John Cena heel stuff, what better way to do it than take out Logan Paul, who's one of the most hated men on the planet for whatever reasons you have is fine, if that's how you feel. He's damn good at professional wrestling, though. In a vacuum, Logan Paul has taken to professional wrestling very well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we only have 9 of these left. John Cena's getting the win here somehow, some way. And then I don't know what's next. I mean, I think we know what's next for him, but it hasn't officially been announced. Will that particular gentleman show up in Paris? I know he wasn't scheduled to, but we also didn't think he was coming to SummerSlam either. That'd be Brock Lesnar for those playing at home.
Yes. And I thought, like Jared said, SummerSlam was in this month. I know it feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam kicked off the month of August. And yes, Brock Lesnar showed up out of nowhere. None of us thought that Brock Lesnar was going to return to WWE as soon as he did. And there he was. So a lot of us thought, oh, man, it's going to be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at the end of this month in Paris. That's not the case. Now we know why, because they are saving that match for WrestlePalooza. Like I said, you start building the card for the first ever WWE PLE on ESPN, and having John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, that right there screams the main event of WrestlePalooza. Now, I know I might sound selfish because I'm John Cena's biggest fan. Indianapolis is my city, and we are being spoiled. Now I know what it feels like to be a Colts fan, Jared. When you had Peyton Manning all those years, you spoiled Colts. Are you a Colts fan, Pluggo?
No, I actually am an NFL free agent.
Oh, well, there's plenty of room on the Titans wagon.
That's what I hear. I used to be, I didn't really have like a team growing up. I kind of just liked football. And then in high school, I said, I'm going to be a Cincinnati Bengals fan because I didn't like the teams around here. They were really bad, or I just didn't want to jump on those bandwagons. I want something different. And then, of course, Cincinnati had those years where they made a lot of really stupid decisions when you couldn't support it. Then I put all the teams in a hat, drew out names. One of those names happened to be the Cleveland Browns, and everybody voted on my socials, so I became a Cleveland Browns fan the year they went 0-16. And then Deshaun Watson arrived, and I was like, well, I need to find a team. I need to pick a team. But right now, I just like watching football, so I'll stick with that. I stick with my college football, my Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Honestly, though, for your sanity, that might be the safest way to go, because I've been miserable being a Tennessee Titans fan, especially living here in Indianapolis, watching Peyton Manning absolutely torch my Titans all those years. And then Andrew Luck came in, and he, for a hot cup of coffee, torched my Titans. And then balance was in the AFC South. Now it's anyone's division down. Even the Houston Texans and Jaguars have a chance to win the AFC South. Listen, as they both have.
Notre Dame takes a lot of mental fatigue out of me on a year-to-year basis. So I can't imagine if I also was a diehard NFL fan that Saturday and Sunday, my little heart couldn't take it, man.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's good times. It's good times.
Yeah, because Jared and I, we banter all the time, all throughout NFL season. Him being a Colts fan, me being a Titans fan, that is banter that I welcome. Yeah, I invite it. So if any of you are Colts fans out there and you want to rib me, go for it. There isn't anything I haven't heard already. I've literally heard everything.
I don't think you're allowed to rib if your starting quarterback is Daniel Jones. I don't think that's allowed.
Danny Dimes, man. So, get on the train.
Just throwing that out there. I think you're safe this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Titans are really bad.
Hey, you know what though?
This
We've
is
made
true.
a lot of improvements. We got the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward, and
He's a monster.
Everything that I've seen out of Cam Ward, man, he looks legit.
Yeah, Cam Ward's legit. The other 51 players around him, I still question, especially that offensive line. But you'll figure it out.
The offensive line it got a little beefed this offseason. We'll see if they live up to protecting Cam, but you know, we got nice weapons for Cam. We got Calvin Ridley. He's pretty solid when he's got a quarterback that can throw to him.
And when he's not gambling on football.
Right. The backfield of Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. I like that 1-2 punch.
Spears is out the first 4 weeks though.
That is true. He is hurt. Well, we got Tony Pollard. Hopefully he'll have a nice resurgence like that one year he had in Dallas. I would like to see that in the Tennessee backfield, but yeah, we could talk football all day long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
But let's get to this John Cena versus Logan Paul match. I know Pluggo has John Cena winning. Jared, who do you have winning this match?
I believe John Cena will win. Just because he kind of, if this match was later in the retirement tour, I could see and would probably even argue to giving the win to Logan.
Sure.
But where this program is plugged in on the Cena retirement tour, especially when we have the Beast Incarnate waiting in the wings, I have to go Cena. Well, the thing with Brock though is, do we find out on Friday, or do they wait to leave the announcement till Sunday? Because SmackDown ended with Nick Aldis stopping John to say, "Hey, I heard from Brock Lesnar," and then Logan punched him. So I believe before Sunday night ends, we're going to get the official announcement of Cena Brock WrestlePalooza on the ESPN app, so they can start pushing the move, because we're getting a full court press of ESPN mentions their announcements. So I think we're going to get that on the back end of the last Peacock show, kind of, oh, hey, this was, Nick Aldis come out or whatever, or unless they announce it Friday, that way they plug it during the whole of Clash in Paris. So I believe John wins. Logan, obviously, people will act surprised that Logan's good at pro wrestling like they do every time he wrestles. Yeah, he's good. But they act, oh my God, Logan.
Yeah.
The guy's good at pro wrestling. Sorry, bud. You can disliking for all the reasons Pluggo had alluded to or mentioned, but the guy is a phenomenal professional wrestler. No two ways about that.
Yeah.
And he belongs. He belongs. He's proven it time in and time again, and he will continue to prove the haters wrong. I mean, anybody who doubts Logan Paul, they're just a hater. And then they're in denial. They don't want to admit that he is legit and he is one of the best athletes in WWE. I mean, everything that Logan Paul does, he does well, and then some. And this was actually brought up in the company meeting. We always have like a company meeting and on Teams, and they were talking about Logan Paul, and then they actually showed on the slideshow his spots that he did at SummerSlam.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm marking out watching this on the other end of the camera. I'm like, my worlds are colliding. My worlds are colliding. So I love it. I mean, Jared messaged me when this match got announced saying that, I'm going to be torn. In a way, I am torn, but at the end of the day, I never go against John Cena. I always will pick John Cena to win, even if I know he's, probably going to lose. But this isn't that situation. He's going to beat Logan Paul, and then he's going to turn his attention to Brock Lesnar here in Indianapolis at WrestlePalooza. By the way, did you guys see that Vince McMahon just celebrated his 80th birthday? And there were several WWE superstars that attended Vince's 80th birthday party. Is that anything worth mentioning, or
people will be upset about it? I mean, it just is what it is. It's the society we live in. I mean, some people are going to be upset about it. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think there probably would have been more had there not been a European tour where a lot of the talent is currently. But yeah, I think a lot of the people that didn't go because I mean that side of Vince that is in the legal battles and all that are probably not the side he showed to those talents that were at his party.
Yeah,
you should, as a guy who studied psychology in college and watches a lot of murder documentaries, people are multifaceted and they have good ways of hiding who they are or sides of themselves from the people close to them. So most of those people see Vince as a boss or even a father figure. We've heard many times talent say he was like my second father.
Yeah.
Those people who have that relationship with Vince see him as that and went to his party. Now when he is maybe at the end of the trial or whatever happens and there's more legal ramifications where he's been proven in a court of law, they may have a different slant. But right now, that's how the talent feels for him. I don't judge people for how they treat or feel about other people. It's everyone's personal. Everyone has a different personal relationship with everybody, so that's no big deal to me. I know some people on social medias will get real fired up about it.
Yeah,
it's.
Go ahead, Pluggo.
I was just gonna kind of reiterate that a little bit. I mean, would I go? Probably not, right? But I also, a lot of those people owe this man their
everything.
Career. Like the Miz was in the picture, right? Like the Miz, Vince was one of the only guys when Miz started that believed that the Miz could become what he's become, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to read too much into it. It's a birthday party. I don't think it means Vince is coming back. I have said, though, if you have noticed, though, the WWE has slowly integrated some Vince stuff back into their program. We're seeing, and I don't think that's by accident. I just think they're trying to move away from all the negative stuff. But yeah, it's a birthday party. I'm not going to lose sleep over who was there.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I met Vince McMahon, Pluggo, I don't know if you know this. I did. I met Vince McMahon, and he was super personable and very kind towards me. And he even said, he goes, well, I can see you being a wrestler one day. And I was like, oh, man, coming from Vince McMahon? Okay. Because he was here in town, and my buddy called me and said, hey, I'm at the hotel. Vince said that when he gets back up from the gym, he's going to talk to every person in the lobby. So you might want to get here. And I ran so fast from Monument Circle to the hotel that Vince was staying at. And man, I had a pretty good 5-minute conversation with Vince McMahon, something that I hold near and dear to my heart. But like Jared said, everything is kind of up in the air until we go to that trial and we get, the trial plays out, and then we kind of figure out, well, if Vince is found guilty, that might change the tune of some people. If Vince is found not guilty, I would not be surprised if all of a sudden Vince McMahon showed back up in WWE. That would not surprise me at all. But yeah, fellas, this is a really fun episode. I know we're coming up on about an hour and a half, but hey, when you got Pluggo making his debut, running wild on WellsMania Podcast, I wanted to make sure you had plenty of time to get everything out there that you would want to get out there. I definitely look forward to having.
Oh, well, then we need a few more hours. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I got plenty of time, my wife's still at work. So that's why I record on Wednesdays. This is kind of like, this is me time. This is WellsMania time.
That's right.
But no, I appreciate you both for taking the time to run wild on episode 188 of WellsMania Podcast. And I think we pretty much covered everything that's really going on. We touched on the Raja Jackson-Syko Stu incident. We talked about Karrion Kross, aka Killer Kross, showing up on the indies. We talked about Wrestlepalooza coming to Indianapolis. We talked a little bit about this, a little bit about that. And of course, we gave our predictions on Sorry, fellas.
No, we lost him. He turned into John Cena. We can't see him.
My computer just told me that my battery's almost dead, so I better plug in Pluggo. I plug-o'd my computer there. But there is something that is down here on the ground that I do want to show you guys before we do go home. You want to see it?
Sure.
You're like, what could it be? It could be anything down here. It's like the Barney bag, man. Use your imagination. All right. So we talked about football. Pluggo, do you play fantasy football?
I do.
And Jared, I know you play fantasy football because you and I have been in leagues in the past before.
Correct.
So Pluggo, and I apologize for not reaching out to you. It didn't even cross my
mind. That's because you didn't want to lose that beautiful thing that you're about to show me that I saw on TikTok. You didn't want to lose it to me.
What I am showing everybody, I feel like my computer is like malfunctioning over here. Can you guys still see me? Can you see me? Better hurry. This right here is the Fantasy Football Championship title in the Royal Fumble Fantasy Football League of wrestling content creators. Myself, I'm the commissioner. So Pluggo, I'll save a spot for you next season when I will defend this title against anybody who wants to step up to me. But we got Aiden Achong, Patrick Kearns, Vanessa Kearns. We got the mixed tag, Brett and Tiffany Rose. We've got Sean Ross Sapp, Alan Owens, Tony Gill, and let's see, who else? It doesn't matter who else because, the Tribal Jester, he's going to be in it. But yeah, man, next year I will save a slot for you and possibly even JPJ if he wants to play as well.
No, he'd be down.
Trophy Smack. Shout out to Trophy Smack. Look at this title, though. This thing is nice. And I'm leaving the plastic on just in case I don't win, although my team was graded an A. So just saying. But yeah, fellas, I appreciate you guys. And good luck.
Because I didn't draft.
This is true. Good luck to you guys in your upcoming fantasy football leagues. Before we go, plug Between Two Beards, plug your social media, plug anything you want to plug. Get it out there. The floor is all yours, brother.
Well, I don't know when you drop this recording, but if it is before tomorrow night, which is Thursday night at 8 p.m., me and JPJ will be back. Between Two Beards, we'll be talking NFL football. We're going to do our preview, plus talk Clash in Paris with Rick Achino and Jeff Hawkins. Maybe some other surprises along the way. You never know, like I said earlier, who will stop by Beards because it's always a house party there. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I'm with Blair Pacheco at Grainmaker Podcast for 4 Exposure, where we dive into the independent wrestling scene. We're going to be talking about LPW 40, which is going down Friday night. I will have a written preview up on lovewrestling.ca probably tomorrow for that monumental event. You will see me on Pluggo on all social medias, at B2Beards on all social media for Beards. My college football picks the video is being worked on. As soon as I get off air with you, that'll drop tomorrow on the Hive. I might have some other stuff coming up. Just go to my socials at Pluggo to see what I got going on. I think I do too much.
Hey, you know what, though? You are suited for it, man. You are a man of multi-talents, and
I try.
I hope that you coming on this episode helps people who weren't familiar with you before. Hopefully now they will be familiar with you and go check out everything that you were involved in.
Oh yeah, and I also do the PLE post shows as well. I love wrestling as well. I started doing those. I got that too. I don't know who's coming on with me after Clash, but stay tuned.
You're gonna have to do that quick Sunday, right? Because the Notre Dame game comes on at 7:30.
Yes, so Clash is at 1. They should be hopefully done no later than 4. I get done by 5, maybe 5:30. Notre Dame game the rest of the night. Yep, it's gonna be a Sunday, as the kids say.
It's gonna be a day.
That's right. Programming alert for all those that aren't aware. Paris, France is in a totally different time zone than us here in the United States. So it's gonna be an early show on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. I will more than likely stream on my TikTok live So if you want to run wild with me, I will probably stream watching Clash in Paris. Jared, go ahead and plug your social media, brother.
As JC Giles on X, Twitter, whatever you call Elon's app. WWE Human Encyclopedia on TikTok. I always say I'm going to do more. I don't know. Maybe people won't annoy me, and I'll feel like doing more stuff on there. But
there you go. Well, I appreciate you as always coming on and making the show smarter than it is. Thank you so much. And Pluggo, yes. Thank you, my man, for making your debut on WellsMania Podcast. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
I hope it was a lot of fun for you.
I had a blast. I did tell Peyton we got heat now, though, because I was hoping he'd show up, too, so we could hang. But I guess he's too cool for me. But no, I had a blast, man. Anytime you need me, just let me know. I'll be back.
Will do, and the same goes for you. I know I apologize for not coming on your show after SummerSlam. I thought I was going to be at SummerSlam. That was not the case. So my mindset and my head space was not. I was not in a good spot. I was like, I should be there right now.
Oh, I hear you. I do the same thing. I should have been there too. And then what happened to Cena? I get it, buddy. It's all good.
I know. I cried myself to sleep that night, just, preparing for December, I guess. But awesome. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Pluggo. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for running wild with episode 188 of WellsMania Podcast. Follow me all over everywhere at WellsMania. Be sure to subscribe for free on YouTube. Try to get those followers up. Until next episode, take care, stay positive, run wild, and dominate the day.